Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
I'm joined in studio now by Margaret Howell. She's going to talk to us about terror cells on the border. Margaret?
Thanks for having me, Jakari. So specifically one case that I wanted to talk to you about, the Department of Justice, they released a press release this week, and they said that a man named Eric Jamal Hendricks of Charlotte, North Carolina, he was arrested in Ohio. He was charged with providing material support for ISIS. Now, they grilled him for several hours, of course. He's still in holding, but what they found out was really disturbing. He claims that fellow militants are in Mexico and his brothers, if you will, and they're part of a larger terror network, and they're using the fact that we have no border to come across and establish terror cells within the U.S. Now, they're targeting specifically the military members whose information was released by ISIS. We covered that they were on the Telegram, and 700 of those names and addresses, as well as Pamela Geller, her organization. If you recall, she held that contest about who could draw the best cartoon depiction
of Muhammad. Yeah,
Correct.
I remember. It wasn't that one, but it was a event right before that. It was a Stand with the Prophet rally that was held in, I believe, the same facility in Dallas or the Dallas area.
Right.
Biggs and I had went up there, and at that time, there wasn't any violence. There was a lot of protest and angry people, passionate on both sides, but it was right after that they had the unfortunate shooting up there.
Geller, that was horrible, and Dallas has been such a hotbed for this. And the alarming part of an aspect of this story, we know that Texas sits on the border of Mexico, so does Arizona. So we're the state where they're entering. And the fact that Pamela Geller was a target, being that she is in Texas, that's alarming. But this young man was arrested in Ohio specifically, and he was trying to gain access to weaponry and specifically areas where he could plant cells within the United States. Now, this goes hand in hand with a State Department document that was released. It was made public by Judicial Watch, one of my favorite groups. You get really accurate information, legally speaking, and you don't get the slant from them per se. But they say that at least 10 years of Arab extremists have entered the country through Mexico with the assistance of something called smuggling networks. So we know that human trafficking and drugs is crossing the border. And very bad guys, they understand that terrorists also want to cross, people scouting out, and they're able to pay smugglers already to enter because they already have the pathways in the channel. And one of these specific areas where they're transported, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this name, it's Acala. It's a rural crossroad that has 54 miles between, it's an El Paso crossroad, so it's next to El Paso.
Right.
And we know that 35 people of either North African or Arab, in terms of where they're from, they were picked up in this area and region, and the presumption is that they're scouting for spots to commit acts of terror.
Oh, absolutely, because the border's wide open. We've addressed that on many occasions. We've gone out there, we talked to the Border Patrol and ICE and all the people in those areas. And among the women and the children and all the sad images that we see out there, of course, we see people who just want to come here and have a better life. You do have people who take advantage of the situation. And while many people have this presumption that everybody's coming from Mexico or further south, you got people coming from all over the world.
Venezuela, exactly. They understand that our border is open, and it's open for business, frankly. I read this, and it was so disgusting to me because not only are we having an issue where we have a mass influx of unvetted migrants. Hillary Clinton called on Face the Nation for 65,000 more Syrians, non-vetted, to enter, but we also have a situation where we don't even have the basic paperwork for people wanting to enter and not knowing where they're coming from. And if this doesn't scream any credence to the fact that we do need to secure our border before it's too late, this Hendricks guy that was arrested, he point blank said that fellow militants are in Mexico waiting to come across and establish those cells. He actually told the Department of Justice this. So we've got a problem on our hands.
Well, absolutely, because when we go out there, they'll tell us point blank that, in the area in South Texas, they catch maybe, 40% of the people who come across, and that's what they expect is coming across. They say you could go out there various parts of the day and just see people like clockwork, and for all the women and children and, decent people, good people who come across, you also have many people who have ill intentions, whether they be terrorists or gang members or anything else.
Right. I really sympathize with people wanting a better life. You and I do as well. And my heart goes out to them. But at the same time, if we don't have a legal system, a process where everyone must go through the same process and it's equitable, we're not a nation any longer. We're just simply not a country. You know, it doesn't work that way. And unfortunately, there are a lot of hardworking people that deserve a better chance at a better life for themselves and for their children. And I really do sympathize. But at the same time, if we don't secure this issue, you know, given the heated political climate that we're in, we're going to see ramped up terrorist attacks, possibly in Texas. This man was arrested in Ohio, originally from North Carolina, all across the United States. There's just no question.
Yeah, and as people have brought up the notion that if you don't have a border, you're not really a country. And they want to bring up the idea that having border security is some type of bigoted deal. When you go to Mexico, where a lot of these people are traveling from, you have to go through a border checkpoint. There's nothing racial or religious or anything else about that. Any final thoughts, Margaret? You know,
it's an honor to be with you, first of all. This is my first time with Jakari. It's an honor to be in studio. But just to leave people with this, one of these cartels in Mexico, it was known that an ISIS militant, Mahmoud Omar Kabir, was among this. Judicial Watch pointed that out. So we do have very detailed cases of people that are ISIS affiliates coming through this border. It's not a blanket statement. It's not generalized. It's not a fear. It's an actual fact.
It's an actual thing. Thank you so much, Margaret Howell. And that's it for our show. We'll see you again next week.
This is the answer for your children to totally absorb the multivitamins, the minerals, the amino acids, everything at once. Unveil Vitamin Mineral Fusion Advanced Multivitamin Formula, 30 servings, fruit punch flavored dietary supplement. It is simply amazing. InfoWarsLife.com.
There's a million different products like this out there that they're good in different ways. But this takes all of the vitamins, all of the essential amino acids, all of the essential compounds and minerals that you need, puts it into something that's great tasting as opposed to like clumpy, gross stuff. And you can put it in your drink every morning. I put it in my protein shake. It is the platinum standard, in my view, of multivitamins in terms of an advanced multi-drink vitamin.
The cleanest, the purest, new stuff had to be invented. That's why it took this long to even bring us something this good.
Some companies are going to take a small amount of vitamins and make it, so there's so much filler, it looks like there's a lot. This is ultra concentrated. We're not playing games here. Okay,
well, that's my philosophy. That's your philosophy.
Yeah,
I want to, but again, there's some great stuff out there.
Yeah,
and there's other,
No, of course, definitely.
There's other powders I promote at InfoWarsHealth.com. Yeah, they're excellent. I mean, there's some good stuff out there. This is just the very best we can bring you, and when you buy it, you support InfoWars, you support the reporters, you support yourself. Tell folks about some of these other things that are in this and why this is just this total, complete package for your body. Because, again, we didn't put the synthetic amino acids. We didn't put the synthetic vitamins. We put the plant-based, high-quality, clean, natural ingredients into this.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got your standard vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E, the list goes on.
A huge amount of vitamin C, by the way. Tell folks about that.
1,000+% of your daily value, which is what you need. Because the, FDA guidelines, we all know about those. Zinc, magnesium, selenium, L-glutamine. Each one of these, you could go on for about 10 minutes about the benefits of these things. Alpha-lipoic acid, folic acid, calcium, and the list goes on. 34 other ones you can check out. Go to InfoWarsLife.com, the label's up there. You've got the entire ingredients list that you can neurotically examine for yourself. And just...
By the way, look on the other side, too, because we're showing people the... minerals and things. Let's look at the vitamins right there, all it's got in there. I mean, it's amazing.
Top left.
Again, if you're radio listeners, Infowars.com/show. Vitamin A has 4,333% from beta carotene and what's that other source? I just know that's all the best sources.
Retinol. So you've also got your vitamin D at 1,000 IU, which is a large dose, actually. And you know what? Some people could say, well, isn't this competing with your other products? Well, yeah, you know what? We could be like some people and just take all the stuff that we sell also at InfoWarsLife.com and not put any of it, but then it wouldn't be a balanced formula, and we're not going to do that. And it might actually hurt us in the long run to put all the best stuff in here, but that's just the way we got to do it, because we can't start thinking like that.
So get them today, InfoWarsLife.com, or call toll-free 888-253-3139.